How intelligent do you think you are? Smart enough to know better. Dumb enough to talk about it here. My IQ is so high that I won't even be able to counter it. Smart enough to go to grad school. Dumb enough to go to grad school. Hey, don't call me out like that. I think I'm smart enough to realize that I'm a dumbass. I'm not that smart. As I grow older I always think I'm not as intelligent as when I'm young. Too bad we don't have all of life's problems when we're 17 and still have all the answers. Above average. Just like everyone else. Just like everyone else. Last week it'd say about average, but I'm in the midst of trying to learn how to program right now and I'm pretty sure I'm mentally challenged. I program for a living, that's how you're supposed to feel. Smarter than the average bear by 3 IQ points. Let's go camping. I need one person in my group to be able to manage opening the trash cans. Not smart enough to know. I only know what I know. I'm pretty freaking stupid. I can count all the way to yellow. Let me test you now, Padon. If standardized tests can be believed, SAT, ACT, GMAT, ASVAB, I'm very near the top. But I'm very lazy when it comes to things that don't interest me. Which, unfortunately, is a lot of things. Intelligence without effort is absolutely 100% worthless. Do you personally think standardized tests are a good measurement for intelligence, or do you think any average Joe could achieve a good result given enough time and dedication? The lazy part could also be an indication of ADHD. Intelligent enough to know that there are people way more intelligent than me in any given room. Must be rough working at a daycare for disabled people. Pro tip. One of the most consistent and robust results in psychology is that most people think they are well above average intelligence. Another one is that IQ score is by far the best predictor of life success we have. And frankly, it's not a very good predictor. Also, internet is full of shooty IQ tests. The only good one I know is this one, but it's far from complete test. I started this, then realized how long it is and am getting ready for bed, so I decided to just start randomly clicking answers. It told me my IQ lies outside an area they are currently able to measure. I'm just gonna pretend that means I'm a super genius whose IQ is higher than Mensa can measure. Well, my IQ is 5, just 4 more to go. Actual smart 7 out of 10, common sense probably a 3 out of 10. I like this method, lol. Actual smart 8, common sense 2. I am so smart. SMRT. My IQ test booted out a 129, but in the same hour I stubbed my toe in the same place about 4 times. Same as me then. Can't seem to keep my feet from kicking random stuff. Alien feet syndrome. I may be dumb, but I'm not stupid. I think I am pretty freaking stupid. Okay, so what the frick are our dumbasses going to do to make this world more fruitful to our below average selves? Average IQ tests give me something around 100. My analytical and linguistic skill is a bit higher and I have great imagination and social skills. My mathematical reasoning is below average. So, don't hire me as your accountant but as your diplomat and mediator. People say that I am smart because I know interesting facts and can talk about wide variety of topics. People who actually know me are very aware of that I am freaking dumbass who once needed 2 minutes to figure out how to turn on a kettle. I think I'm intelligent because I've convinced myself to define intelligence in a way that prioritizes my strengths. As far as I'm concerned, what does it mean to be intelligent? It means having the gifts that I personally have, and the areas of the mind where I am weaker don't count for as much. At least according to me. Logically pretty smart, but socially, musically or any otherly I'm a daft idiot. I'm extremely intelligent, just not as wise. I know I'm no genius, but the number of people I've met in my life have made me feel like Einstein in comparison is alarming. I think I'm average. Even the IQ test shows that I'm an average person. So yeah, not a genius. To be honest, I'm dumb. Always have been. Always will be. But at least I'm learning. I have a tenuous grasp of the American language. I love that you know tenuous. 69 IQ. Nice. 136 IQ. However, will tip the pasta box on a high shelf to see how much is left. Spilling it all over the kitchen. Smarter than Iraq. Dumber than God. Considering how low the bar is set, I'm above average. Intelligent enough to know I'm freaking stupid. Smart enough to realize how dumb I was 5 years ago. Every 5 years. Dumb as hell. The fact that I'm on Reddit talking about this is proof. I have no patience and I'm struggling in school. Smart enough to know how dumb I am but dumb enough to not correct it. In fact, the more I try to learn the more I realize how dumb I am and how less I know. Doesn't it concern you that even if at average intelligence half of everyone you meet is less intelligent, swarm intelligence can be higher than the average of society? This is why all of the shit still works somehow. Not as smart as I used to think. That's for sure. I got good grades in school, but I seem to have lost my ability to learn or something. I keep doing stupid stuff. I have trouble remembering things, and I take forever to learn something new. I also have a pretty slow wit, and I can struggle having a simple conversation if I don't know you well. Not from feeling awkward, if I'm not used to your accent. My brain takes forever to understand what you're saying. It's dumb luck I haven't fricked up badly enough to lose my job or house or something yet. As much as I may try to not be an idiot, I fail regularly. I used to be significantly above average. IQ tested at 141. Top 1%. Now I have a mysterious brain condition injury and my intelligence fluctuates greatly. On bad days I can't read or write. My short-term memory is gone. I have to go to dictionary.com to verify if simple words are words. Even on my good days lately I am probably average intelligence at best. If you are smart, do not take it for granted. I am not even 40 years old yet and on my bad days I suspect I am about 50-60 IQ points below my peak. The silver lining is that it took becoming dumber to realize I am not special. I used to think I would make an impact on the world but in retrospect I placed too much emphasis on intelligence. I am happier day to day now about most things except now I suck at my job and expect to get fired someday. I used to take pride in my excellent reading and writing abilities and now I forget what I am reading or writing 3 sentences in. Even this reply is taking a lot of effort and I am still in bed. In conclusion, even if you are smart please develop some work ethic and stay humble. Being smart doesn't make you a better person. If I look back on the 141 IQ version of me, I was cocky, pretentious and thought my intelligence made me better than others. Funny enough the dumb version of me is doing a lot better at realizing people bring different strengths to the table and being measurably intelligent is worthless if you are annoying as shoot. So I'm finishing up a master's degree. The term I like is qualifiably not an idiot. Which is kinda funny because I'm pretty sure qualifiably isn't a word. But nobody has called me out yet. IDK. I'm not a languager. 4. Dumb enough to try nuance and facts on Reddit. Smart enough to know I know next to frick all about most things. Which sucks because while I'm clued in enough to not believe conspiracy drivel and to be pretty progressive, I am not smart or clued in enough to convince others or counter idiotic arguments and talking points these people will throw up. It just feels like I'm in that episode of RSIP, where I feel that you're wrong, but I don't know enough about X thing to contest it. The confidence that real, weapons grade idiots have in their wrong opinions is hard for normal, or even marginally above average intelligence people to combat. Persevering face. I think people bragging about their IQ are losers. Stephen Hawking. I subscribe to the theory of multiple intelligences which I learned when I was getting my degree in education. Essentially, there are 8 different forms of intelligence, neatly summed up by Einstein's quote, "Everybody is a genius, but if you judge a fish by its ability to climb a tree, it will live its whole life believing it's stupid." That said, I used to think I was a genius. Now, I just think I'm average in 8 different ways. LMAO. I feel I am smart to a point. I'm not the kind of smart that will have me inventing something new, but I can pick up and understand things faster than most people. That said, as I have gotten older, I have gained the wisdom of realizing I am not as smart as I think I am. Smart enough to realize I'd rather be the dumbest person in a room rather than the smartest. Edit. A room where I'm the smartest person isn't good, I'm a moron. You see, I'm smart enough to know that I'm not very smart. The problem is that intelligence is not one thing. There are different kinds of intelligence. Problem solving skills, good memorization ability, good with foreign languages, good reading comprehension, good with your hands, or good at making things, good musical ability, good artistic ability, good people skills, good mechanical aptitude. I'm sure there are others I missed. When I was younger I was smart. According to various tests I took, I hated it. I wanted to fit in and felt that being smart was alienating me. so I started killing brain cells and turning away from it as much as possible. Now, dumb as frick, perma-freed, and doing everything I can to make sure my kids, who are way smarter than I ever thought I was, don't do the same. I sound extremely stupid when I speak, stuttering, words all over the place etc. But if I am able to find the right words I can sound really intelligent, great at some academic subjects, shoot at common sense, am not, intellectually, quite, emotionally, I need a grown-up, smart enough to recognize what I don't know, am also smart enough to do something about it if I need to, very dumb. I obsess over how stupid I believe I am. Roughly 135-140 points and smart enough to know that IQ test, by design, is to highlight when people have a problem with core learning functions, mathematics, pattern recognition, associating concepts, etc. so they can be helped. So bragging about IQ is a bit like bragging you have the best car because you scored extremely well on a state inspection. I honestly believe I'm actually average intelligence and am just living in a world that's full of idiots at it. I just realized that if I have average intelligence in a world full of idiots, that would make me an idiot as well. I guess I meant mid-level. Basic intelligence lol. I think I've got a solid average 10. No penalties. But it's not helping my saving throws. Smart enough to know I'm not nearly as intelligent as I want to be. Intelligent enough to know there is a lot I don't know. I can barely write my own name on paper. So probably not very smart. I'm pretty intelligent. Haven't got a formal IQ test yet but I top all subjects on the national exam. Officially tested I got 139 when I was like 10. Today, med, average. Well I have 12 IQ points on my driver's license so I'm doing pretty good. I'm like a race car. Instant pickup from zero. High cruising speed. Great maneuverability and nice to look at. But horrible endurance and runs out of fuel soon. After that, taking a single step forward requires a recharge or refuel. I am so SMRT. Intelligent enough to know I still have a lot left to learn. I don't know and honestly don't care. I'm smart enough to know and admit when I don't know something. Above average. But that isn't saying much as the more people I meet the more I think the average has been declining. I don't think I'm genius or savant level or anything. But definitely on the right hand side of the bell curve. Very. Average maybe a bit over. Emotionally very intelligent. I'm street smart. Sorta book smart. If I had to guess. Maybe 70th percentile. IDK. 5. Maybe 6. Approx 40% of my brain is of above average intelligence. And the other 70% is dumber than Iraq. Let's just say I have an IQ of -42. Smart enough to trust my intuition. And dumb enough to not have trusted my intuition when I should have. I have a BS in physics, graduate degree in engineering, and have risen to very high levels in my company quickly. With all that, I believe I am below average intelligence across the whole spectrum of knowledge. Sure, I know the obscurities of my expertise, and how to pick the right coattails to ride. But beyond that, I'm an idiot. I am definitely bright, but not smart, you know? I can pick things up easily, have good problem solving skills, but I am not smart enough to make myself do things like study or try. I find in my life that I'm average all around. There are very few things that I excel at, but can do with competency. I'm okay with this. Smart enough to know I'm thick ASF. Smart enough to know I could be smarter. Not terribly. My IQ used to be slightly above average at 110. Now, having suffered a massive brain injury I can only guess that it is significantly lower than that. I'm on Reddit. What do you think? I'm dumb but I ain't stupid. I'm smart enough to know a little bit about everything, but dumb enough to not be able to remember everything about it. Complicated matter sure I can give it a go. 2 plus 2. Where's my calculator? I'm so smart my brain cells have to be measured in yottabytes. Thumbs up. Winking face with stuck out tongue. I think I'm an idiot who is good at a few things and that often causes people to think I'm smarter than I am. But I also know that it's not uncommon for intelligent people to think less of their own intelligence so I wonder if maybe I am smart. But that sounds arrogant as frick and like a natural contradiction. I think him stupid, which means him smart. Doesn't that just mean him pretending to think him stupid so that I can use that as evidence that him intelligent? So that must mean that I'm overconfident in my intelligence and I'm probably very stupid. But a lot of people who know me think him smart. And I think they're smart. So maybe I should just trust them. But if I'm stupid, does it matter if I think they're smart? Can you trust the opinion of a stupid person when it comes to gauging intelligence? So when asked how intelligent I think I am, the answer is that I weep in the corner. Relentlessly curious. Intelligence. Mediocre. But I have a voracious thirst for knowledge and know a little about a lot. I tend to do about average on IQ tests. Me ape. Smart enough to want more out of life but not smart enough to know how to get there. Not at all. People always say I'm smart but they have to be lying just to make me feel better. I'm not the brightest candle on the cake. But I still get blown. Intelligent enough to know that there's always someone smarter than me in the room and there's always someone not as smart who has achieved more with what they have. Unless I'm alone in a room with my cat. I'm definitely smarter than that little doof.